Happy Feature Friday, all my quilting friends. Thank you so much for joining me in my quilting studio. Today we are going to go over how to export thumbnail pictures of all of your quilt patterns that are loaded on your Butler Robotics system. While we were out at Road to California last week, I had a few of my quilting friends stop by and say hello, and they asked if I would do this video. I know that we've done this in the past, but there are a lot of new Butler users out there, and they may want to know how to do this as well. Whether you need an easy way to look through all of your pattern and paper copies is a quick and easy way to do that. Or maybe you quilt for the public and it's nice to have paper copies for them to page through and choose the design that they'd like to have on their quilt. This is the way you're going to print those out from your Butler Robotics system so that you have them available to look at. I'm going to turn you guys around so we can get started. So here we are at my robotics system. I am in layout, and you can see I've set my safe area with a big orange box. We're not going to be doing anything crazy because we're just going to be working with our patterns today. But I do want to come around this side here for you guys and show you that I have plugged a USB stick into I've got 2 available USB ports on the back of my Butler Robotics display. So I have already plugged my USB stick in to one of the ports before we even get started, because we are going to put our thumbnail PDFs on this so that we can plug it into our computer at home. So I have started there, and then on my display, I'm going to go to my pattern file. And normally when we open our pattern file, we have all of our cute little thumbnails here, and we swipe through and we choose a pattern. But what we're doing today is we're going to export all of our little pictures onto our USB stick so we can print off the pictures on our computer so that we have paper copies. We're going to move from patterns down to our import export tab. And when we do that, here in the middle is what we're going to be working with. Now, I do want to say that we've got a note on here that says, due to copyright issues, patterns may not be exported. So you're not exporting the pattern, you're just exporting the picture of what the pattern looks like when it's done. So we're exporting the PDF. I'm going to hit that button now. And because I have my USB stick plugged in, it's giving me storage location options. It says external and internal. We're actually going to save our export internally first, and then we'll copy and paste it and put it on our USB drive. So we're going to select internal. And when we do that, we get taken to a new screen. This looks very familiar to something that might be on your desktop computer. When we get here, we are going to go to download and highlight that by touching on it. It gets turned blue, and then the word download comes down here by the word directory. If we come to the right of our display, we hit the word choose, and it starts downloading all of those different files for us, and it's flying by very quickly here on our screen. It's exporting them in the tags that it is listed in, so you're gonna see different names flying across the bottom of the screen pretty quick. So you'll see quilt patterns, quiltable, every name that I have all of my patterns saved under tags as they go by. And as soon as it's done, and that was pretty quick there, it's going to tell me that I am successful in my export. And it exported the PDF to this location. So it's in downloads, images, and it says perfectstitch.pdf. So I'm going to remember that because now I have to go to my File Explorer and find this so I can copy it and paste it on my USB stick. I'm going to hit OK. And you might go, well, where is that? Well, it's not in your Butler program, it's outside of your Butler program on your display. So I'm going to hit my homing program here at the center, the little dot, and it brings me back here to what it looks like when I first turn my robot on. And if I swipe up on my screen, I get all of the apps available to me. I want to go to my File Explorer. It looks like this. If I touch on that, I'm now taken to a different screen. So we're going to go ahead and find where that perfectstitch.pdf landed. So we're going to start with our internal memory because remember we clicked on internal and it was in downloads. It was in images. And right there it says Perfect Stitch PDF. So I'm gonna long hold on this, and just like on a computer, it gives me options when I long hold on it. I want to hit copy. So now I've copied this file so we can paste it on our USB stick. But to get back to our USB stick, we need to go back to home, and that's up here in kind of our yellowy orange bar. So I'm going to hit home, and now we're back where our USB stick is. So I'm going to touch on my USB stick, and we're going to come across the top here and hit editor. And when we hit editor, we get that menu again, and I'm going to hit paste because we've already copied a file. We need to paste the file here. And now it's going to load it, and it says copy finished down on the bottom real quick. And if I scroll up, right there are my perfectstitch.pdf files. So they are all set and ready to go for me. Now if I swipe down here a little bit on the, it's not going to do it from that screen. Here I've got this little icon up here. That's my USB. So if I swipe down on that, it says that I've got my USB here. I'm just going to touch on that and make sure that I've got everything ready to go. See, right there's my Perfect Stitch. So I just wanted to make sure it was on there so I can remove it. I'm going to take it. You guys can see me. I'm going to pull it out of the back here. And now I can take this and put it into my computer, open up that file, and I will have thumbnails available to me. And what that ends up looking like is nice little printed out pattern copies of what your design looks like. It's also got the name of the pattern. And you can very easily scroll through and look at your designs page by page so that you can choose what you want to work with without having to stand in front of your display and choose. And I really love this, so that way you can pre-plan your quilt ahead of time. Or if you've got someone you're quilting for, they can choose the design they would like. Now I've got mine in these little like plastic sleeve pages, and you could use like a dry erase marker where if you're trying to make a decision, you could put like a little mark on top of the design if you want. And that way you can remember to go back to that one if you're trying to decide between a couple. You can always kind of go, oh, well, I like this one, so here's a little mark on this one. And then you could go to the next page and find another one you like and be like, oh, well, maybe I like this one too. And then you can kind of compare them and go back and forth until you really decide on the one you like. So I hope this was handy for all of you who asked me if I would go over this video. It takes just a few minutes once you get the hang of it. It might be helpful if you watch through the video and write the steps down. So that way when you're in front of your robotics display, you have your written steps and you can go step by step to get those little thumbnails transferred onto your USB stick. I hope y'all have fun doing this. Get your paper copy set up for you, and you guys have a great day, and I'll see you real soon.